Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 7 American figures who have passed away. We'll explore their legacies, what they've left behind, both in the past and present, and pay tribute to their families. If you'd like to show your support, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Let's dive in. Eleanor Coppola, the Emmy-winning director of Hearts of Darkness and wife of renowned filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola for 61 years, passed away on Friday at her home in Rutherford, California, at the age of 87. She was also the mother of celebrated filmmaker Sofia Coppola and Roman Coppola, president of American Zoetrope, the film production company founded by her husband. Eleanor's most notable achievement in filmmaking was Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, 1991, a documentary she directed about the making of Francis Ford Coppola's legendary film Apocalypse Now. The documentary won both an Emmy Award and a Directors Guild of America Award. The chaotic production of Apocalypse Now, which faced a myriad of challenges, from budget issues and a typhoon that destroyed much of the set, to difficulties with casting and an insurgency in the Philippines, was documented by Eleanor. She was tasked with capturing footage of the production for United Artists Marketing Department, but she ended up creating an iconic documentary. Hearts of Darkness has since become a defining film that showcases the often tumultuous process behind creating a cinematic masterpiece. At the time, Eleanor was in the Philippines with her husband and their 3 children, Giancarlo, Roman, and Sofia, and was responsible for gathering footage of the film's production. "I don't know if Francis is just trying to keep me busy or if he wants to avoid adding a professional crew," she later remarked. "Maybe both." Despite the hardships and setbacks, the resulting documentary highlighted the perseverance that led to one of cinema's greatest achievements. It also became a testament to the creative process itself, showing that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, artistic vision could survive. "I had no idea that Hearts of Darkness would become what it is," Eleanor reflected in a 2017 interview. "I had made some small art films in the early 70s. But when I got my hands on the camera in the Philippines, I was mesmerized by it." She continued, "Francis had this incredible drive to keep pushing forward with Apocalypse Now. There were times I would tell him, 'We can just go home. You've made great films and you can make more. But let's just give up on this one.' But his determination was a major lesson for me in how to live my own life." Beyond Hearts of Darkness, Eleanor Coppola made significant contributions to filmmaking. She wrote and directed Coda, 30 Years Later, a documentary that chronicled the making of her husband's first film in a decade. Youth Without Youth. It marked her debut as a screenwriter and set the stage for her continued work in the film industry. At 80, she made her dramatic feature directorial debut with Paris Can Wait, 2016, starring Diane Lane, Arnaud Viard, and Alec Baldwin. The film centers on a woman, Lane, who, during a crisis in her marriage, embarks on a scenic trip through the French countryside with her husband's business partner, Viard. Paris Can Wait was acquired by Sony Pictures Classics after its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, making Eleanor the oldest American director ever to make a dramatic feature debut. "I never thought I'd make a feature film," she admitted in a TIFF interview. "But I had an experience that was powerful and resonated deeply with me. I shared it with a friend, and she said, 'That's the movie I want to see.'" Prior to Paris Can Wait, Eleanor directed short films documenting the making of her daughter Sofia's films, The Virgin Suicides of 1999 and Marie Antoinette, 2006. In an interview about Sofia's 2023 film, Priscilla, the younger Coppola discussed the profound influence her mother had on her work. "My mom is more of a quiet observer," Sofia explained. "I think I've inherited that trait. It's a part of who I am and how I approach my own films." She also exposed us to contemporary art, showing us things that deeply impacted my work. Eleanor's artistic contributions were not limited to film. Her drawings, photographs, and conceptual artworks were showcased in galleries around the world, from San Francisco to Stockholm. She created several short films that she called concept commercials, including one that showed hands peeling potatoes, while a voiceover referenced Joseph Beuys' idea that even the simple act of peeling a potato could be considered art if done with consciousness. In 2014, the Sonoma Valley Art Museum held a retrospective of her work titled Eleanor Coppola, Key Creative Force. As a writer, Eleanor published 2 books, Notes on the Making of Apocalypse Now, 1979, and Notes on a Life, 2008. At the age of 87, she completed her 3rd book, which chronicles her life in recent years. In the manuscript, she reflected, "I appreciate how my unexpected life has stretched and pulled me in so many extraordinary ways, taking me down paths I could never have imagined." Carrie Robbins, the celebrated Broadway costume designer, known for her iconic designs such as the poodle skirts in the 1972 production of Grease and the nun's habits in the 1983 play Agnes of God, passed away on Friday, April 12th, due to complications from a brief illness caused by COVID-19. She was 81 years old. Robbins passed away at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan. Her death was confirmed by her friend, Daniel Needon. Carrie Robbins' illustrious career in the Broadway world began in a rather unremarkable fashion with Leda and the Little Swan, a play that closed prematurely in 1968 at the Court Theater, just before its official opening. The play, which delved into taboo themes of intergenerational sex within a family, was described by William Goldman in The Season, a candid look at Broadway, as the hardest show of the season to sit through. Nevertheless, Robbins quickly bounced back, gaining recognition in 1969 for her work on a revival of You Can't Take It With You, and again in 1970 with The Good Woman of Szechuan. Her career took off in 1972 when she designed the costumes for Grease, which ran for an impressive 8 years. This marked the beginning of a long list of Broadway productions she would contribute to, including The Plow and the Stars, The Iceman Cometh, The Beggar's Opera, The Crucible, Macbeth, An Enemy of the People, The Time of Your Life, Yentl, The Boys of Winter, and The Shadow Box, among others. Notably, Robbins also designed the costumes for the Broadway production of Happy End, a Bertolt Brecht musical that featured a young, singing Meryl Streep. Beyond Broadway, Robbins' work took her to London's West End, where she designed costumes for Sweet Bird of Youth, starring Lauren Bacall. She also worked off-Broadway, designing costumes for the production of Cyrano featuring Frank Langella. Over the years, Robbins garnered multiple accolades for her work. She was nominated for Tony Awards twice, once for her work on Grease, and again for the 1974 musical Over Here. She also received 4 Drama Desk Awards for her contributions to theater. In 2012, she was honored with the Irene Sharaff Award for Sustained Excellence by the Theater Development Fund. Robbins was also a devoted member of the League of Professional Theater Women, who presented her with the Ruth Morley Award in recognition of her exceptional costume designs and her steadfast support for women in theater. "We loved her as a sister for her warmth and her support of women in theater," said Shellen Lubin, past president of the League. Born on February 7, 1943 in Baltimore, Carrie Fishbein Robbins earned her degree from the Yale School of Drama. She later became a master teacher of costume design at New York University Tisch School of the Arts, and also authored The Designs of Carrie Robbins, a book published by Samuel French. At the time of her passing, Robbins was in the process of writing a play titled Fly on the Wall, which was to offer insight into her experiences as a costume designer. Throughout her career, Robbins also ventured into other creative fields. In recent years, she became passionate about puppet making, creating life-size child puppets to tell the story of French Jewish children who were taken to Auschwitz, in a piece called For the Lost Children of Paris. Additionally, her work extended to opera, where she designed costumes for productions such as Death in Venice, for Glimmerglass Opera and Samson at Dalila, for both the San Francisco Opera and Houston Grand Opera. Her designs were also featured at Lincoln Center for the Acting Company and the New York Shakespeare Festival. In 2008-09, she co-curated an exhibition at the New York Public Library at Lincoln Center that showcased designs by women in theater. A memorial service for Carrie Robbins will be held at 10:30 a.m. on May 13th at the Brotherhood Synagogue in Manhattan's Gramercy Park. K-pop singer Park Bo-ram dies at 30. Investigations underway. K-pop star Park Bo-ram tragically passed away Thursday afternoon, as confirmed by her agency, Xanadu Entertainment. In a statement, Xanadu Entertainment expressed deep sorrow over the singer's untimely death. "We are here to share the heartbreaking and sudden news of Park Bo-ram's passing late on April 11th. All artists and executives at Xanadu Entertainment are deeply mourning this loss. It is especially painful to announce such tragic news to all of Park Bo-ram's fans who have supported her over the years. The funeral will take place following discussions with the bereaved family. Once again, we express our deepest condolences, wishing the deceased peace in the afterlife." Reports from the Seoul Police Department revealed that Park was at a friend's house when she collapsed, suffering from cardiac arrest. She was immediately transported to a hospital but sadly passed away at 11:17 p.m. local time, about an hour after her arrival. Authorities are still investigating the precise cause of her death, as there were no known health issues associated with Park prior to the incident. While the exact cause remains unclear, the loss of Park Bo-ram is a tragic reminder of the toll that intense pressures in the K-pop industry can have on its stars. Park Bo-ram had risen to fame after appearing on the South Korean reality music competition show Superstar K2 in 2010, where she quickly gained public attention. In 2014, she made her official debut as a singer with the song Beautiful, which ranked 19th on the Korean charts that year, marking a significant milestone in her career. Her musical journey was marked by continued success. She was honored with the Artist of the Year award at the 4th Gaon Chart K-pop Awards, and she went on to receive nominations for prestigious accolades, including the Manet Asian Music Awards, Melon Music Awards, and the Golden Disc Awards. Park's career was filled with several chart-topping hits, earning her a respected place in the K-pop industry. Just days before her death, on April 3rd, she released a new single titled I Miss You and was in the process of preparing for the release of a full-length album, according to her agency. While Park Bo-ram's passing is still under investigation, the shocking loss of the young singer has left the K-pop community and her fans devastated. Her untimely death is part of a concerning pattern, as several young stars in the Korean entertainment industry have tragically passed away in recent years. The immense pressure placed on these entertainers, particularly in the K-pop industry, is known to be overwhelming, with many facing intense scrutiny and a demanding high-pressure lifestyle. Park's death raises important questions about the mental and physical toll that K-pop idols endure, and it has sparked conversations about the need for better mental health support and work-life balance in the entertainment industry. As authorities continue their investigation, fans and industry professionals alike are left to reflect on the challenges that many young artists face in this high-stakes world of fame. Robert McNeil, the esteemed PBS newsman who co-founded and co-hosted the long-running McNeil Joch Lehrer Report and later the PBS NewsHour, passed away today at the age of 93 due to natural causes. He died at New York Presbyterian Hospital in New York City. The news of McNeil's death was shared by PBS NewsHour anchor Judy Woodruff and later confirmed by his daughter Allison McNeil. "I am devastated by the passing of a dear friend and someone who helped reshape American television news, Robin McNeil," Woodruff wrote on Twitter, using McNeil's nickname. Together with Jim Lehrer, he co-created the iconic NewsHour on PBS, and it was the greatest honor of my life to work alongside him and learn from him. McNeil's partnership with Jim Lehrer began in 1973 when they teamed up to cover the Senate Watergate hearings, a project that earned them an Emmy Award. In 1975, the pair solidified their professional relationship with the debut of the McNeil-Lehrer Report, a 30-minute news program that was designed to offer in-depth coverage of a single major story per episode. This unique approach set the show apart from other news programs and garnered both critical praise and a loyal audience. In 1983, the show's title changed to The McNeil-Lehrer NewsHour, marking the transition to the first hour-long evening newscast in the U.S. With the extended format, the program evolved, covering a broader range of topics while maintaining its focus on thorough, thoughtful reporting. This expansion laid the foundation for what would later become the PBS NewsHour, which continues to be a trusted source of news today. Jeff Bennett and Amna Nawaz, co-anchors of PBS NewsHour, expressed their sadness in a statement, saying, "Robin was truly one of a kind. His distinctive voice brought stories to life, breaking down complex issues with clarity and empathy. Through his sharp reporting and intimate interviews, Robin had an extraordinary ability to connect with people. As we reflect on his many contributions, we honor his memory by continuing to pursue truth and foster connections that bridge divides. Just as Robin did so gracefully throughout his career, we are profoundly grateful for the lasting legacy he leaves behind." Paula Kerger, president and CEO of PBS, added, "Robin's passing marks the end of an era for PBS and is a tremendous loss for our country. His collaboration with Jim Lehrer during the Watergate hearings was groundbreaking and pivotal. By creating the MacNeil-Lehrer Report and later the NewsHour, Robin and Jim set the standard for excellence in news programming, always focusing on the facts and the most pressing issues of the time. While we mourn his passing, we honor his life and work by carrying forward the legacy he helped build." Born Robert Breckenridge Ware MacNeil on January 19, 1931, in Montreal, Canada, he was raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia. His early career saw him briefly working as an actor for the CBC before moving to London to pursue a career as a playwright. In London, he joined ITV as a reporter and soon began working with Reuters as an editor. In 1960, MacNeil joined NBC News as a London-based correspondent, and in 1963, he transferred to the network's Washington bureau, where he covered significant stories such as the Civil Rights Movement and major events at the White House. Within 5 years, he began co-anchoring a weekend 30-minute news broadcast with Ray Scherer. After his time at NBC and a short stint with the BBC, MacNeil joined PBS in 1971 as a correspondent. His national recognition grew significantly following his work on the Watergate hearings, which earned him widespread acclaim. MacNeil retired from PBS NewsHour in 1995 but returned periodically to PBS, including hosting the 2007 documentary series, America at a Crossroads, Warrentown. MacNeil is survived by his 2 sons, Ian MacNeil, a Tony Award-winning set designer for Billy Elliot, the musical, and Will MacNeil, along with daughters Kathy MacNeil and Allison MacNeil. He also leaves behind 5 grandchildren. MacNeil's contributions to American journalism and television have left an indelible mark on the industry, and his legacy will continue to shape the way news is presented and consumed for years to come. Barbara O. Jones dies. Actress in the independent Black cinema movement, was 82. Barbara O. Jones, an actress known for her roles in groundbreaking independent Black cinema films in the 1970s, including Bush, Mama and Daughters of the Dust, passed away at the age of 82 at her home in Dayton, Ohio. The news of her death was confirmed on April 8th by her brother, Marlon Minor, who mentioned that the cause of death had yet to be determined. Jones, originally from the Midwest, moved to Los Angeles with the aspiration of building a career in film. She became a prominent figure in the UCLA Film School, part of a movement later known as the LA Rebellion. This era of Black filmmakers sought to create more authentic and nuanced representations of Black life on screen, in stark contrast to the stereotypical portrayals common in mainstream cinema at the time. During her time at UCLA, Jones appeared in several short student films, many of which were pivotal in the development of independent Black cinema. Notable among them was Child of Resistance, 1973, where she portrayed an imprisoned activist inspired by the iconic figure of Angela Davis. Another significant work was Diary of an African Nun, 1977, an adaptation of a short story by Alice Walker. These early roles helped establish Jones as a vital voice in the emerging Black film movement. Jones's breakthrough came in 1979 when she landed her first leading role in a feature film, Bush Mama. The film, directed by Charles Burnett, follows the story of Dorothy, a working-class Black woman living in Los Angeles, as she grapples with the harsh realities of everyday life. Jones's portrayal of Dorothy captured the struggles and resilience of a woman whose experiences had rarely been shown on screen at the time. Bush Mama became an important film in the independent Black cinema movement, known for its raw, realistic depiction of life in the Black community. In addition to her film career, Jones made significant contributions to television in the 1970s. She appeared in a variety of roles, often under the screen names Barbara Rao, Barbara O, and Barbara O. Among her other film credits were Black Chariot, 1971, a lesser-known film from the era, and the 1977 science fiction horror film Demon Seed, in which she starred alongside Julie Christie. The latter film explored themes of artificial intelligence, and although it was a departure from Jones's typical roles, it showcased her versatility as an actress. Jones's talents extended beyond film and television. In 1979, she took on a substantial role in the miniseries Freedom Road, where she portrayed the wife of Muhammad Ali, adding to her expanding body of work in both historical and dramatic television roles. This miniseries, like many of her other projects, offered a deeper, more complex view of African American life and history. Despite her success, Jones's career in the spotlight eventually slowed, though she remained a respected figure in the film industry. Her final major role came in 1991 when she appeared in Daughters of the Dust. Directed by Julie Dash, this film is a seminal work in African American cinema, portraying the lives of the Gullah people of the Southeast Coast. Jones's character, Yellow Mary, is a former prostitute who returns to her roots among the Gullah, bringing a nuanced and powerful presence to the screen. Daughters of the Dust would go on to be recognized as a landmark film in Black cinema, and Jones's portrayal in it further cemented her legacy as a key figure in the movement. Throughout her life, Barbara O. Jones was an important figure in the fight for more inclusive and authentic representation of Black life in film. Her performances contributed to a shift in how African American stories were told, offering complex, grounded portrayals of Black characters in a variety of settings and situations. She worked alongside other key figures in the independent Black film movement, including Charles Burnett, Julie Dash, and others, whose collective efforts helped to reshape the landscape of American cinema. Jones's legacy as an actress and as part of the LA Rebellion movement is immeasurable. Her work remains a crucial part of the conversation about representation in cinema, and her contributions to Black film continue to inspire generations of filmmakers and actors. Barbara O. Jones is survived by her brother Marlon Minor, her children Makini Jones, Mashinda Jones, and Dottie Price, along with 5 grandchildren, a great-grandson, and another brother, Raymond. Her death marks the end of an era in independent Black cinema, but her influence and legacy will endure.